What's going on, y'all? This is Traffic Jam. We're here at Rainier Avenue Radio. Excuse me. We got a lot going on today. It's your boy Cream the Dream. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here with One on One, right?
Yes, sir.
And you guys are performing today, right?
Yes, sir. Right.
So tell me a little bit about you guys' act.
Well, we're a duet.
You don't see a lot of those nowadays.
Well, we do it for, number one, money reasons.
Of course.
And that keeps us busy a lot, and we do a lot of jazz, so we fill it up,
Right.
as what you will hear. And my man here, Dennis Blackman, he's a iconic fixture in the community, him and his brother. So I'm working with the best, so we're working like that,
That's great.
We keep it funky. Keep it funky, baby.
For sure, facts. So how long you guys been at it?
We've been playing, how long you say?
I mean, about three years or so.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
Okay. I
3 or
thought
4.
But we're really busy.
Yeah, for sure. Busy. Okay.
And we also have our other member, Steve Black, our guitar player. He usually plays with us. But sometimes when we do smaller functions, we just use a duet.
Right.
We play on the east side a lot. And a lot of times it's just me and him. And then when we do bigger functions, we'll have Steve. So we pretty much fill it up like that, more like a George Benson, smooth jazz type of stuff. We do that.
Yeah,
pretty in demand. So we cover a lot of vintage, a lot of Latin stuff, Brazilian stuff, reggae stuff. He writes some of the stuff too.
Yeah.
So we play some of his original compositions.
Yeah. So how long you guys been playing the instrument?
Oh God.
Since I was 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So way more than 10,000 hours, huh?
Yeah, this guy here, he's a blessing to play with. He's a good player. I've been playing. I actually came up here to Seattle on a music scholarship, and I went to Seattle Central, and then I met some guys there, and then I went to Seattle U. So I studied.
Wow.
So I tell people I'm an educated ghetto musician. So and I'm also a record producer too.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so you guys are working on fresh tracks right now?
Oh yeah, always.
Okay, yeah.
Fresh tracks, and we got podcasts. I'm dropping tracks every 2 months. I got new songs coming out.
Yeah,
I got a recording studio down the street.
Okay, yeah. So it's like a machine. So you're
always
doing shows, you're doing the tracks.
From the studio to the practice room to the rehearsal hall to the gig, and back to the shed.
Yeah. Tell them.
Back to the shed,
Yes, sir.
Right, Dennis?
Yep.
So, you guys compliment each other.
Oh yeah.
So, like, do you guys have like a pre-show, like, I want to say ritual, or do you guys like talk before you do a show, or you eat something, or like athletes?
We just come in and we say things that have happened to us, things that are going on around us, and then we
like
get together
check in with each other.
Well, we're talking about what's going on around us, just like things that happen in the day around yourselves, whoever, what's going on, and then we get together and we say hello to the people that we meet at the places that we're at, and they like hearing us play, and we enjoy seeing people. I know I enjoy it, especially I think we like to see people happy with the music.
Yeah.
It's very rewarding, some of the places that we play at. I mean, the people love us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have a fan base over here on the east side. They're waiting for us to come back there. So that's very, all the hours of practicing and all the years that makes it worth it. Same with Tacoma and a lot of places we play. But we always try to keep our music on a high level and very dynamic, right?
Right.
So I learned a lot from this guy.
Yeah, that's great. So, and Seattle's like known for jazz too, right? So, like, are you guys like?
Well, not as much as it should be, really. Like for me, I go to a lot of the jazz venues, and I don't hardly see very few black people there at the jazz venues nowadays. Now we're talking about Chicago. Actually, I'm on my way. I'm doing a recording down in Atlanta here soon, and I also travel a lot back and forth to Cuba. And you don't see as much jazz in this city as you do like New York, LA. It's we got to spark it up more. I mean, when I go to some of the jazz spots, a lot of times I'm only black guy there.
Yeah.
In a suit, and they're looking at me crazy. So this is the original way that we, So we always respect the people that come before us and try to acknowledge all the great artists the drummers that come before us, because they paved the way for us. You know, people talk something, oh man, we gotta go do this gig. It's pouring down rain. Well, I'm saying the guys back in the East Coast, they did gigs in the snow.
Yeah.
What do you think about? You agree with that, Dennis?
That's different.
Well, it's well, Seattle to me is it's been known for some jazz back in the day, but it was a rhythm and blues soul
Oh, right. Okay.
kind of a thing.
I feel like that's what I mean.
Right.
Yeah. And so eventually, Joe Brazil came and the jazz. He brought more of the jazz influence to it. Joe passed away a while back, a little while back, and but Joe Brazil, when he got here, he brought more of the jazz type of a vibe here, and
Yeah.
But Seattle was always known to. Well, back in the day, there was some jazz too, but it was been known for more of the feeling, the sound, a soul type of a sound to me. And
who's the drummer? Who's the bass?
There's no drummer.
Oh,
I'm a keyboard player.
Oh,
he's an organ player.
Oh, okay, organ.
We use organ a lot. That way it just makes two. So we don't usually use a keyboard or bass player too much.
Oh, okay.
So he does, the old Jimmy Smith type of, that's one of his mentors.
Yeah.
Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, like, like if you had a mentor, like, but, sometimes you, like, see some sauce and you,
of course.
Inspiration.
You want to go first on that?
Well, Joe Brazil, who I mentioned just a little while ago, Joe Brazil, he came here, I don't know what year, but that could be looked up. Joe Brazil, he played saxophone, and John Coltrane was one of his best friends.
Okay, I've heard of Coltrane.
Coltrane, and he knew all. But see, when I met him, I don't know how old I was, 20 something. When I met him, I realized that he knew a lot about it. So I would go to his house and talk to him.
Wow, that's cool.
He had a band. He had a Black Academy of Music, which was a band that he put together in Seattle.
Yeah.
But Joe didn't tell me that he knew all those people, the famous people.
Yeah.
He just told me, so and so, and you might need to go do this and check this guy out. But he didn't tell me that he actually knew those people.
Right.
I found out after he had passed away, really.
Yeah.
But for me, and I was already playing in soul bands and rhythm and blues bands in Seattle at that time. A little bit after I met Joe, it just all put it together to me, because I've always liked jazz. I was grateful of God blessed me to meet Joe Brazil. King Dre and I, we would always see each other, and we would always say hello to each other. We knew we both played instruments.
Yeah.
And I knew him and he knew me, but we would always say hello and pass each other.
Yeah.
For years.
For years.
years.
I mean, this went on for years. Hey man, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine too. We both knew we played, but we never played.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we just sort of hooked up, and we've been going since then.
This is how I got him.
Yeah.
I was just coming off the road with a band about 5-6 years ago, and I was just riding around, and I looked in this place and I seen him in there playing. It was a jam session. I said, "Oh man, a chance to go play with Dennis." So I went in there and started playing with him, and then the drummer kept not showing up. So then I kept playing with him, and then after that we just took off.
Yeah.
Me and him just stayed together and just kept playing.
Yeah.
And we've been busy.
That's great.
So that's how that worked out. But for me, my career in jazz, always been jazz. I started to come playing R&B, neighborhood bands like we all did, because that's in the Black community.
Yeah.
But then my brother turned me on to jazz at an early age because he was from Chicago. So then when I got into that, when I studied music, I studied jazz. Yeah. So I always want to be a jazz artist. Okay. I always wanted to be a jazz artist. So when you're playing jazz, that means you can cover all the venues.
Yeah.
So I cover all genres. It comes out of the jazz background.
Yeah. And are we done, Tony? We out of here?
We out of here?
We're getting ready to go on stage.
All right. See you on stage.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
all right. We appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thanks for the interview.
I
I feel important.
Man, I gotta get this.